We have one of our favorite toy experts in the studio today. Guess you could say we're reviving our old Toy Story segment.
T-O-Y, toy.
It's time to talk toys with our pal Rob Eldridge from Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles and host of the Great Ohio Toy Show. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
It's great to have you back on the air today.
It's
like
great.
Old times.
It's great to be here.
The Great Ohio Toy Show, one of the largest toy shows in North America, comes to Xenia, Ohio, Greene County Fairgrounds this Saturday. How many years have you been doing the show now?
You know, we were talking about that the other day. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary.
And I know that from chatting with you and from our old pal Rodney Keatle that used to work at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Expo Center.
Yep.
Humble beginnings. When you started this show 10 years ago, could you imagine what it's grown into a decade later?
No, we started at the Roberts Center.
Really?
Yeah, so our first show was at the Roberts Center. We had one section of that four-section, arena. I guess that's what you would call it. And I think we started maybe with 60 to 70 8-foot tables for our show. And, yeah, it's grown. Believe it or not, the COVID thing was the biggest blessing for us because we were the only show going. And we went from the Roberts Center, we moved here, and, with the help of Rodney and the support of the community, it's become the largest traditional toy show, I believe, in the country right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
really
amazing.
It is.
Fills all 7 buildings at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Expo Center. Over 700 tables of vintage toys and toys from every era, right?
Toys from everywhere. I mean, so there's a lot of action figures because that's the most popular toy, okay? But there's pedal cars, there's wind-ups, there's dolls, there's girls' toys. A lot of times girls will go to these cons and these shows and, just like what I brought today, it's all boys' toys. But there's tons of stuff for every age, every genre. You'll find things that your grandpa had, your dad had, you and I had. Even if you're not into toys, for $6, just to see the things that you had from your childhood and eat the food trucks, 10 food trucks, it's a wonderful day. It's like a big celebration is what it is.
And you said it, it's the largest traditional toy show in the country, but you have visitors from around the globe that come to Xenia twice a year for this toy show. You've already chatted with some international guests that are in town already, haven't you?
Yes, yesterday our friends that run a shop in I think it's Portsmouth, England, I think is where it's from. It's called the Vintage Toy Monster, so you could check them out. They came, they pulled up yesterday evening, and I heard somebody say the Brits have landed. So then some customers from Argentina. There's customers already here from Tennessee, Kentucky, Minnesota. I think there's someone here from California already.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're already in town, and we encourage them to spend money at local restaurants and and all that. So.
Now we've chatted before that you're a leader not just of Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles and the Toy Mall and the Great Ohio Toy Show, but in the toy community at large. And you said that Ohio in particular is a great state for vintage toys.
Ohio's toy history is better than anyone. So back in the day, I mean, the West wasn't like it is now. So if you built a factory in Cincinnati or this area, you could get your distribution out. So we had Kenner, we had Ohio Art, we had J&J Mold. I mean, Hasbro took over Kenner. We've had a lot of major toy companies right here in Ohio. So these people come from all over the country because they didn't have the variety that we had. So Ohio is the mecca if you collect vintage toys or antique toys. And I try to uplift the toy community because I don't know. I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Rising tide lifts all ships.
Amen.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. And and it's working really well. We'll call people during the holidays. Hey, call my friend Tony at Toy Fanatic. Hey, buddy, I got a customer looking for this. You want to help that customer. That's the way it should be.
Absolutely. And with that being said, I know for guests that are in town or that maybe have traveled a distance to come to Greene County for the Great Ohio Toy Show, you've promoted what you call the Ohio Toy Trail. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, the Ohio Toy Trail. You can come to the show. You can come to our shops. Really, any of the shops around in Dayton, if they sell majority toys and they're open regular hours, that you can get a map. So the map will give you 1 through, I'm thinking 45, 46. different toy shops.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and in time, what we want to do is maybe do like a cannonball run or something. Maybe something for Christmas where you visit all these shops and you get a you get a stamp or something. Eventually, we'll turn it into an event too. But
get like a passport. They get
yeah,
stamps,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just supporting one another. Toys is about having fun. So you don't need to be all aggressive and be against somebody else for opening up a business.
You remember what Ernest Tubbs said, right? Be better to your neighbors, and you'll have better neighbors.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for sure.
But with the great number of wonderful toy shops in Ohio, it makes the show, like the Great Ohio Toy Show, that much more rich and fruitful when it comes to the variety of toys and vendors that you guys can offer, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's overwhelming. When you walk, you've been there. So
Yes.
when you walk into just the first big building, you'll be like, I don't even know where to start, And, what I do as a collector is I get my eagle eyes on, and I'll do the whole thing quick to look for what I'm looking for my collection, and then I would go back and slow down and then really detail it. But the variety is just unbelievable. And you'll find toys that you can't get at Walmart because the shelves are empty.
Yeah.
Or they never did have this one. So you'll find some modern stuff, too. So it's not all just secondhand stuff. There's new toys there too.
That's one thing that's cool is if someone's taken the kids and grandkids, in addition to finding Howdy Doody and Huckleberry Hound, they'll also find Encanto and Bluey as well for the grandkids.
Yeah. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you'll find that kind of stuff too. But our show caters to the vintage toys.
Absolutely.
That's what we try to showcase.
And we mentioned that they have toys from every era. One thing that's great, too, that I found out is that you also have stuff at every price point as well.
Yeah.
So if you're just a curiosity seeker and not a serious collector, there's stuff there that can interest you, too, that's not just going to be over your head because you're not a collector.
Yeah, so we have dealers that travel the world or travel the country. Some of them travel the world. But we also have people that just do estate sales and do like locker cleanouts. And they'll gather all their good toys and bring them to the toy show. So you could find for example, those who know toys, you could find a carded Jawa, a 12-back Star Wars carded Jawa. You could find one on the card. You could find one graded on the card. You could find one off the card, and you could find a loose one. So if you're looking for a Jawa from '77, you could find one of any type collectible that you want to purchase. So yeah, the variety is crazy.
And it's a lot of fun, and in addition to toys, all sorts of just great vintage memorabilia. Trip down memory lane. I remember last year I saw a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic, which was crazy. Seeing one of those out in the wild was a lot of fun.
You talking about the life size?
Yeah, the big one. Yeah. I mean, it was
sold.
It was huge. There's one vendor, and I don't know if they're for sale or not, if they're just for display, but it always brings back memories to see the old Hanna-Barbera parking signs from Kings Island. You got Bam Bam Row 2 and Scooby-Doo Row 6. And, I mean, you don't know what you're going to see.
Right.
Last year, I left with a shotgun red piggy bank, so that was pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I know the first time that Santana and I visited the toy show, we're like, we got, that's a couple hours before they close. That'll be plenty of time to go through.
Yeah.
I think we got through like 2 buildings.
Yeah.
We just had too much fun. And as you start going, you're like, man, I remember that.
Yep.
Or, wow, look at this. I'd never seen one of these before. And it's just a great time to browse.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that do the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And, I'll spend the next week watching the reviews. And some of the things that they found, I'm like, how did I miss that? There was Froggy Flips. He found a script from the Munsters signed by everyone who was on the Munsters. I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
You're a big Munsters
guy, and I'm like,
man.
how did I miss that? So yeah, there's great stuff there.
Last year there was a booth. I was telling Peyton just yesterday. Last year there was a booth that had a binder filled with original animation cells from classic cartoons, like that had been hand drawn illustration cells from Huckleberry Hound and Droopy and Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, you'll find one of a kind things. I mean, right now in my travel van, I have the original sticker art from the Street Sharks of the 90s.
Yeah.
This is the original pencil art, one of a kind. And being in Ohio, you find that kind of stuff.
There was an item a couple shows ago that I had seen and kind of had remorse for not picking it up. that I had taken a picture of. I think I had sent you. You're like, I did not see this, and
Yeah.
I ended up, we ended up finding it the last
TV
show,
trays.
the
Yeah,
TV trays
yeah.
that had. It had Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy and Quick Draw and Huckleberry Hound and Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
Yeah.
All one of them they're all fishing and one of them they're all playing. I think one of them has a banjo. So had to get them for mom and dad. That Mama and Papa's house had to have those. So. So you brought a handful of toys
I did, yeah.
from the shop and from your personal collection. You're going to show us today as some of a great variety of stuff folks can see at the Great Ohio Toy Show.
Yeah, you want me to show them off now?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, guys, what I brought here is a couple pieces from my own personal collection, but I also brought some graded pieces just to let you know, those of you who do collect, if you have a really nice piece, loose or boxed, we do have CAS, which is a grading company, and they'll capsulize your toys like this, and they'll grade them, which if you're, for an investment, it's really good to protect the toy, especially if it's
see-through, like harder case on it, so the box doesn't get dinged up.
So this has got a really nice acrylic, like you would see a baseball card or whatever. Yeah. But then they put a protector over that acrylic too.
That's cool.
Like this piece here was graded. It's hard to see that, but it was graded an 80 plus. The target is an 80, 85 plus. This is an awesome Ewoks Assault Catapult, sealed. And
Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Yeah. That's old school.
Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Ewoks Combat Glider. This one was graded an 80. And it's just protected, encapsulized in this. And like I said, for investment purposes or to protect, this is the way to go. This is from my personal collection here. This is
You're a big Universal Monsters guy.
I love monsters, yeah. So this is a glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein from Remco.
Wow.
It's still sealed, still got the original tape. New old stock. It's harder and harder to find this stuff. So that's from my personal collection.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and then this is new old stock. I believe this is 70s. I think it's 76. This is a kind of like a music box.
Yeah.
But it's Superman, classic Superman. Me personally, I like Superman because of the America thing and Captain America. So this is an unused, new old stock, 1976 Superman music box, still in the box.
It says it rotates,
It does rotate, yeah, as it plays.
Wow.
I'm not sure what it plays, but it rotates. And then this piece here.
Probably plays $2 toy from Stony Everett.
Probably. And, being in Ohio, Kenner was big time. So this is a Kenner $6 million man. This is the bad guy, Maskatron. And I can kind of, for investment purposes, I'll explain this. So I bought this in Chicago for $400, okay? I thought it was really nice. It was sealed. The card was real nice. I took it to the grading company that was there in Chicago. 6 months later, I get it back. I could probably get $1,500 plus out of this now.
Wow. That's crazy.
So that's, investment purpose. So if you've got rare toys that are really nice, you take it to these grading companies, and they'll tell you if they think it's worth grading, just like sports cards, comic books, or anything for investment purposes and protection. But the Maskatron being the robot, being the bad guy, and being that nice, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to keep that in my personal collection. Man. So my collection,
awesome.
has really went like everywhere.
Very cool. The Great Ohio Toy Show in Xenia this Saturday. What are the hours? I know you've had to expand the hours over the years.
We've done. A lot of people want us to go 2 days, but it's just too much, honestly. So we're a one-day show, Saturday only. You can get in early bird, which gets you in line in the buildings early, and you get to shop, before the main crowd. You can get in at 8 o'clock. That's $10 per person. Kids 10 and under are free, and then regular admission is 9 to 5, and that's $6. So what else can you do for $6?
$10 early bird, 8 to 9, 9 to 5 general admission, $6, and then you said kids 10 and under.
Kids 10 and under are free. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I do have to ask about, because I know people really look forward to it every year, you always have a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a puzzle, a little bit of a game. The bounty hunt. Boba Fett's raring to go.
Yeah.
Give the scoop on this bounty hunt. That's super fun.
So we try to create a little excitement with the bounty hunt. So basically, every building there's one fugitive toy. We have put the clues out in a live video. We have put the clues out in text on our page. You follow those clues, and if you just so happen to say let's say this Maskatron, you think that this is the bounty toy, and you're thinking, I believe all the clues match, I'm gonna go for it. And you purchase this. If it was the bounty toy, The dealer's not going to give you any clues. He's going to say, congratulations, you just bought the fugitive toy for building 1 through 7. And then they'll give you a little coupon. That coupon will pay you the bounty. Then you come and look for me. The dealer will call me and say, hey, fugitive toy in building 1's been found, and it could be $50. It could be $100. Now, there could be 100 of that toy in that building, but there's only one of them that is a fugitive. So the clues are on our Facebook page. And then next year being our 10-year anniversary, we're gonna do something cool. I just don't know what it's going to be. So I don't know yet to make an announcement. So
now I do have to say that Santana is going to be bummed that the egg hunt is not back this year for the spring show.
Yeah.
Last year the show was the weekend of Easter, so you had the egg hunt. And, man, Santana got to where she was eagle eye finding those Easter eggs.
Well, I can't say that Easter Bunny won't be popping around there.
Hey,
I don't know, but
there you go.
I don't know about the eggs.
Great Ohio Toy Show, fun for the whole family. But bring from the big ones to the little ones. Everyone can have a big time. 7 buildings full of memories. A trip down memory lane for everybody. Toys from every era. And you said 10 food trucks? Man.
There's 10 food trucks, yeah. Yep.
Man, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, and as soon as you get there, you'll start smelling the food. You'll hear the DJ, and you'll get excited. I promise you will have a blast if you've never been.
And where can folks go to learn more?
The best thing to do is just go to social. Well, if you just do a general Google search, you'll find all kinds of information. But go to our social media page on Facebook or Instagram, like and follow us, and you can get all the information for all the shows. Our next one is October 4th.
The Great Ohio Toy Show every spring and fall.
Yes.
Our spring show's coming up this Saturday, 9 to 5 in Xenia at the Fairgrounds. Next show is October the 4th for the fall.
Sir. Yes, sir.
For folks that always say, man, I need to go to that toy show, or I always miss, no excuse. You got to go check it out.
You got to go.
Got to go. Hey, Rob, thank you so much. I do have one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that our volunteers will beat the Kentucky Wildcats on
Man,
Friday?
it's hard.
It'd be a great way to start your toy show.
I know.
Right?
It's kind of hard living where we live, isn't it? You know, Kentucky. But I bleed orange, man. My family, my mom and dad moved up here in the 50s from Livingston, Tennessee, and I just love the Vols. I say the Vols are going to take it.
I think so.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if it was the ladies playing them, I guarantee you they'd win because the ladies are killing it.
They are killing it. They are killing it, man. That new coach, Coach Caldwell, is crushing it.
Yeah.
So I haven't told you that Daisy, she's 5 months old, and her favorite activity is watching basketball.
Is it really?
She loves basketball. Like, most other things on television she ignores. We haven't tried to we haven't been kind of directing her to the TV per se.
Yeah.
But man, if basketball's on, she's locked in.
She's locked in.
We took her to some high school games this year, but we think she's going to be a Lady Vol when she grows up. So we'll see.
Man, I hope so.
I do too.
Yeah, that's
Get
awesome.
some of that NIL money.
Yeah.
You could buy a lot of toys with some NIL money.
Yes, sir. You sure could.
Rob Eldridge from Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles, host of the Great Ohio Toy Show. It's this Saturday in Xenia.
Hi, thanks for watching. If you liked our video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe so you'll be notified when we have new videos posting. Be sure to check out some of our other content as well. Thanks for watching.